Okay, so I have finally managed to beat the Tower of Adversity experimental zone. As you can see, fully maxed out all 24 of these crests or whatever you want to call them have been acquired. I did this with a free-to-play team, only using a total of 4 units, which I will showcase you in a second, right? So, yeah, essentially I used a Havoc type rover. I used Yangyang, Baizi, and Danjin. 2 of these are level 50. Yangyang and Rover are level 60, so it's definitely not some unattainable stats required in order to beat this. But yeah, I'll explain. First of all, I will showcase you a neat little trick on how you can manage your Resonator energy a bit more efficiently, especially if you only have one strong unit built like I do with my rover, right? Like other 3 units, like her DPS set is okay, it's really nothing special, right? But my main strength is my rover, right? So if you only have a single Resonator built on high damage, I will showcase you how you can manage your energy a bit more efficiently. Then I'll showcase all of the runs for all 8 levels in the Tower of Adversity. And in the end, I will showcase you the stats for all 4 of the Resonators. So the weapons, echoes, skill ups, and all of that. Yeah, let's go. Okay, so first thing about the little neat trick that I figured out is essentially if you only have one strong Resonator, at first, whenever you enter any of these towers, doesn't matter which one you start with, right? Like, I think both of them are like of equal strength, like of equal difficulty. No matter which one you start, if you only have a single DPS, you do not want to be using the same DPS for all 4 levels, right? What you want to do is use your strongest DPS on both of level 4s on each tower, right? So as you can see here, I use my rover on the level 4 right here, and I use my rover on the level 4 right here. That leaves me with 2 energy, which means that I can use the same team as I used on level 4s on either a single level 2 or both of the level 1s. And with your secondary units, like your secondary best DPS or whatever other units you have, you will want to be completing both of the level 1s, a single level 2, and both of the level 3s, right? So as you can see there, for the first tower, I did level 1 and 3 with them, and for the second tower, I did level 1, 2, and 3, which equals out to exactly 10 energy being spent for both the teams, right? So my first team was Rover and Baizi, and my secondary team was Yangyang and what's her name? Danji or something like that? Danjin, there we go. So yeah, again, if you have only a single DPS, make sure to use both on both level 4s, because the difficulty between level 3 and level 4 is massive, and your secondary DPS should be able to deal with both level 3s without any issues, right? So now let's jump into the runs for all 8 levels, and I'll see you at the end.
Upswing. Let the winds roar. Synchronization. Eradicate. Upswing. Deference. Ha. Ha. Let me be. Let's get this over. Shake the shapeless. Guide my blade. No mercy. Scarlet. Refuse. Tempest. Synchronization. Guide my blade. Judgment. Let me be your blade. Precipitant, storm, hear my command. Ha, hey, ha. Guide my blade. Eradicate. Upswing. Synchronization. Precipitate storm, hear my command. Ha! Eradicate. Ha! Synchronization. Upswing. Guide my blade. Let me be your blade. Synchronization. Serenade! Let the winds roar. Synchronization. Guide my blade. Judgment. Ha! Scarlet. Refuse. Let me be your blade. Speeding up. Tempest. Synchronization. Oh, shake the shakeless. Deference. Don't worry. Guide my blade. No mercy. Scarlet. Refuse. Let the winds roar. Synchronization. Judgment. Ha! Deference. Ha! Speeding up. Speeding up. Synchronization. Guide my blade. Serenade. Tempest. No mercy. Cool. Upswing. Let me be your blade. Synchronization. Shake the shakeless. Guide my blade. Eradicate. Synchronization. Let's get this over with. Scarlet. Refuse. Synchronization. Storm, hear my command. Guide my blade. Judgment.
Nowhere to hide. One with the sound.
Let's do this another way.
Embracing change. You will obey. One with the sound. Embracing change. Endure and defy. One with the sound. Embracing change. None shall whisper. Shadow descends. One with the sound. Embracing change. One with the sound. Shape the shapeless. Eradicate. Synchronization. Precipitance. Hey, ha, hey, ha. Hey. Guide my blade. Synchronization. Hey! Speeding up. Hey, ha! 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 Speeding up. Let the winds roar. Guide my blade. Judgment. One with the sound. Nowhere to hide. Embracing change. Rejuvenating snow. Acceptable damage. One with the sound. Down with the curtain. Embracing change. Endure and defy. Storm, hear my command. Synchronization. Judgment. Let me be your blade. Deference! Shape the shapeless. Synchronization. Guide my blade. Scarlet. Refuse. Let me be your blade. No mercy. Scarlet. Refuse. Synchronization.
Nowhere to hide. One with the sound. Embracing change. Rejuvenating snow. Keep it together. One with the sound. Checkmate. You will obey. Endure and defy. One with the sound. One with the sound. Endless reverberation. Keep it together. Shadow descends. Keep it together. One with the sound. Checkmate. Nowhere to hide.
Okay, and basically here's all of the stats for all my resonators. I'll try to go over them really quickly, right? So for rover, she is like by far the main DPS that I have. Any other secondary DPS does not even compare to the damage I have built on her, right? So for the weapon, she is running Emerald of Genesis. Trust me, I acquired this completely free to play. I went all the way to Pity, and on the Pity pull, I actually got 2 of these blades. I did not skill them up. I will be using them separately, right? But yeah, this blade is an absolute game changer when it comes to damage. Now, the reason for that is you already have a lot of crit damage built in with your rover or any other summoner, right? And without having high crit rate, you are losing out on insane amounts of damage, right? So any blade that has crit rate, or any weapon in general that has crit rate, on a DPS summoner is almost like a must until you are able to get enough crit rate from stuff like echoes and all of that. So yeah, highly recommend using a weapon that does have crit rate. Again, there are 4-star weapons that have crit rate as well. It does not have to be a 5-star. This is just something that I chose to go for, right? Because I already know that Rover's damage is absolutely massive, even comparing it to 5-star resonators, and just getting that weapon over like a separate resonator just boosted my damage that much, right? Now for echoes, she is running a full Havoc set. All of the echoes are plus 25, except one of the 1 costs are at plus 20, I believe. 1 costs are running attack percent, 3 costs are running Havoc damage increase percent, and the boss echo is running critical rate as well, just to boost up on that damage potential. Max skill ups for the current phase and 2 upgrades in here. Now for the other 3 units, their builds are much worse than Rover. I'm telling you, by far the Rover is my main damage dealer. That's why I split up all of the hardest stages, like the 4 stages in the tower, to Rover, where she was able to dominate them, right? For yangyang, She is running just a random 4-star blade. I did upgrade her to another Emerald or Genesis recently, but for these runs I was using the older 4-star blade, right? So attack percentage for echoes, just an IRA set. Again, critical rate on the main one, IRA damage increase on the 3 costs, but they are purple and they are like plus 10 to plus 15 only, so definitely nowhere near where they could be, right? And for the 1 cost, attack percent, of course, skill ups, everything max apart from the secondary 3, right? And 1 skill up in there. Now for Baiji, again, her set is sort of weird. The weapon is energy regen. She's sort of like a damage dealer, but it's also like a bit of a healer, so I have her on like mixed build between damage and HP, right? I mean, she does have HP scaling on her healing and some of the damage. And for this girl, actually, you will notice that she does not have any build, right? And the reason for that is she is a Havoc type. And what I did is I split up Dungeon and Rover into separate teams, because whenever I use Rover, I use her main set, and because she is a Havoc type, what I do is I build a secondary team with Yangyang and Dungeon, and whenever I use Dungeon, I simply switch everything I have to Dungeon. She uses the same weapon, she uses the same echoes, she uses everything the same as your Rover, which means that instead of building 2 separate units, you can get away with a single set of weapons, echoes, all of that, and she will have massive damage. Even at level 50, she worked just fine. She did dash out some decent DPS. I did focus mostly on Yangyang because I'm not a big fan of her like self-harming abilities, right? Like the healing she gets feels like not enough compared to the amount she heals up, right? But yeah, that's how I did it. These are the stats, completely free to play, no packs bought, nothing like that. As you can see, I don't even have powered up resonators. I only have him and Verina, and both of them are level 1 because I simply don't want to use them, right? But yeah, we'll see how it goes. If you have any questions about the run, do post them below. And yeah, that's about it. Peace.